Urologist reveals, rub this one secret spot for naturally stronger erections. After 60. If you're a man over 50 and you've noticed that your body doesn't always keep up with the man you still feel like inside, you are not alone. It's that frustrating gap, isn't it? The one where you feel like the only answer you're ever given is another expensive prescription. Most men chalk this up to just getting older or thinking their testosterone has fallen off a cliff. But what if I told you the primary culprit often isn't what you think? A landmark 2022 study from the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, following over 8,000 men, found something shocking. They discovered that a specific marker for localized chronic inflammation had a 40% stronger link to poor penile blood flow than age or even testosterone levels alone. This isn't just a number in a study. This is the exact story of my patient, Robert, a 72-year-old man who came to my office feeling defeated after spending literally hundreds of dollars a month on useless supplements. Once we stopped chasing hormones and instead focused on addressing this underlying inflammation, the change was, in his words, like waking up a part of me I thought was gone for good. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells. And in this video, I'm not just going to talk about this science, I'm going to show you exactly what it means for you. We'll uncover the one secret spot to apply a simple, natural oil that addresses this inflammation directly. Stay with me because you'll learn the precise, safe steps to support that youthful vitality. Starting tonight. All right, so let's get into our first and most important section, the what and where of this entire method. I want to be clear here because precision is everything. The solution we're discussing is applying a specific, high-quality castor oil directly to your perineum. Now, I know some of you might be hearing that word for the first time. It sounds technical, but it's very simple. The perineum is the small area of skin, that patch of real estate located directly between the base of the scrotum and the anus. It's a spot most men never think twice about, but from a urological and anatomical standpoint, it is profoundly important. It is the very foundation of the pelvic floor. Now, here is the critical mistake so many men make when they hear about topical solutions. They think that close enough is good enough. They might hear that oil is good for circulation, so they apply it broadly, maybe on the inner thighs or somewhere else in the general area. They believe that as long as it's somewhere nearby, the body will figure it out. Let me be clear. That approach will lead to nothing but oily skin and the same old frustration. It will make you believe that natural solutions don't work, when in reality the method was simply applied incorrectly. In medicine and in the body's complex system of wiring and plumbing, location is everything. You wouldn't put oil in your car's gas tank and expect the engine to run smoothly. It's the same principle. The right tool must be used in exactly the right place. So why is this specific spot so effective? It comes down to two key reasons. First, this area is what we in the medical field consider a nerve and circulatory superhighway. And second, the skin here is uniquely permeable. Let's break that down. When I say superhighway, I mean it's a critical junction point where a dense network of blood vessels and nerve endings converge before they travel into the penis. These are the very pathways responsible for the signals and the blood flow needed for a firm, healthy erection. And when I say the skin is permeable, it means it absorbs compounds more effectively than, say, the thicker skin on your back or your arm. It acts as a gateway, a direct entry point, allowing the beneficial properties of the oil to penetrate the surface and reach the crucial tissues and structures lying just beneath. And this is not just a theory. This is fundamental established medical science. We know from detailed anatomical studies, the kind you see in medical textbooks like Gray's Anatomy, that this specific area is densely supplied by what's known as the pudendal artery and the pudendal nerve. Think of these as the main electrical line and the main water pipe for the entire region. They are the primary supply lines for blood and sensation. By targeting the perineum, you are directly interacting with the command and control center for erectile function. It's not a random spot. It is the most strategic entry point imaginable. I often use an analogy with my patients to make this crystal clear. Think of the perineum like the main fuse box for your house's electrical system, located down in the basement. Now, imagine a light bulb in your bedroom starts to flicker and dim. That flickering light bulb is the issue you're trying to solve. The wrong approach, the one most people try, is to keep flicking the light switch on and off, getting frustrated. They might even change the light bulb 10 times, but the light still flickers. Because the problem isn't the bulb, it's the electrical supply. The correct approach is to go down to the basement, find that main fuse box, and ensure the connection is solid and the power is flowing smoothly. The perineum is that fuse box. Applying castor oil is like working directly on the control panel to restore the proper flow of energy and communication to the rest of the system. We are addressing the source, not just the symptom. So how do you incorporate this into your routine, safely and effectively? It is incredibly simple. I recommend making this a calm, nightly ritual, perhaps after a shower when the area is clean. You need a small amount, about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon, of high-quality castor oil. And as I'll discuss later, the quality is non-negotiable. You warm the oil slightly between your fingers, and then you apply it to the perineum using a gentle, circular massage motion for about 30 to 60 seconds. This is not a deep tissue sports massage. The goal is gentle stimulation and absorption. Think of it as a nurturing, therapeutic act of self-care. That's it. That is the entire ritual. This simple daily action was the absolute foundation of my patient Robert's turnaround. Remember him? The 72-year-old who felt he'd tried everything? He was skeptical, of course, but he committed to this one. Simple, consistent action. He told me later, "Doctor, it was so simple I almost didn't believe it, but doing it every night, it was like I was finally sending the right signal to the right place." And here's a little tip for synergy. Robert found that on the days he was well hydrated, the effects felt even more pronounced. This makes perfect sense. Proper hydration ensures your blood volume is optimal, so when you improve circulation, there's actually enough fluid to circulate. It's a small tweak, but it made a world of difference for him. It's about giving your body the right support, in the right place, consistently, and that can change everything. All right. So now that you know the what and the where, let's dive into the science. And we're going to start with the first and perhaps the most powerful reason why this simple oil can be so effective. This is all about fighting an invisible enemy, an enemy I call silent inflammation. Now, our first point is what makes this all work. The primary benefit here comes from castor oil's main active compound. It's a special fatty acid called ricinoleic acid. You don't need to remember the name. What you do need to remember is that this compound is a potent, natural anti-inflammatory. It's the hero ingredient in our story. But here's the mistake that almost everyone makes when they hear the word inflammation. A huge mistake. We often think of inflammation as something loud and obvious. A swollen knee after a run, a red and angry rash, or a throbbing headache. We think of it as an acute problem that screams for our attention. But the most damaging kind of inflammation, especially when it comes to men's health and circulation as we age, is silent. You don't feel it. You don't see it. There is no obvious pain. It's a low-grade, chronic, smoldering fire happening deep inside your tissues, year after year. And specifically, when it takes hold in the delicate network of blood vessels and tissues in your pelvic region, it silently, slowly begins to choke off blood flow. It is a quiet thief, robbing you of vitality one day at a time, and you never even know it's there until the symptoms, like declining firmness, start to show up. So why is this so critical? Why does this one factor matter so much? Here's why. The process of inflammation at a microscopic level causes damage to the lining of your blood vessels. In response, your body tries to repair this damage, but the chronic process makes the vessels stiff. They become less flexible, less responsive. At the same time, this inflammatory state causes the vessels themselves to constrict, to narrow. Think about that. The very pipes that need to open up wide, to relax and allow a rush of blood to create an erection, are instead becoming stiff, narrow, and unresponsive. By applying castor oil with its powerful ricinoleic acid to that key area, you are delivering a natural anti-inflammatory agent directly to the source of the problem. You're not just hoping for the best. You are actively working to calm that silent fire. You are essentially clearing a path, helping those blood vessels to relax and function the way they were designed to. And this isn't just a nice theory. This is backed by solid scientific research. There are numerous studies published in respected peer-reviewed journals, like the International Journal of Immunopathology and Pharmacology, that have demonstrated the powerful ability of ricinoleic acid to reduce key inflammatory markers when it's applied topically. In these studies, researchers can literally measure a decrease in the substances that signal inflammation in the body. It's like watching a firefighter successfully put out the embers of a fire at a cellular level. It's powerful proof that we are on the right track. I know this can sound a bit technical, so let me give you a simple analogy I use with all my patients. Imagine your circulatory system when you were younger was like a brand new garden hose. It was flexible, wide, and when you turned on the faucet, water would gush out with incredible pressure. Now imagine that for the last 20 or 30 years, someone has been very, very slowly stepping on that hose. That's chronic silent inflammation. At first you barely notice a change in the water pressure, but over time their weight increases, the hose gets stiffer, and the pressure becomes just a trickle. The blood flow simply can't get through effectively anymore. Ricinoleic acid, when applied consistently to that perineum area, is like a gentle, persistent force that convinces that person to slowly take their foot off the hose. It doesn't happen overnight. But with consistency, it helps to release the pressure, reduce the constriction, and allow that vital flow to return. So how do we put this into practice? How do we use this knowledge? The application is what we've already discussed, but the mindset is crucial. You must be consistent. This is not a magic bullet for one night. Since silent inflammation is a long-term process, the solution must also be a consistent, long-term practice. A consistent nightly application, just 30 to 60 seconds, allows the ricinoleic acid to work cumulatively. It gives it time to penetrate the tissues day after day, to calm the environment, and to support a healthier, less inflamed state. This brings me back to my patient, Robert. For a man like him, who had some underlying circulatory concerns common for his age, tackling this silent inflammation was the first domino that needed to fall. He was doing other things right, trying to eat better, trying to stay active, but he was missing this key piece of the puzzle. The inflammation was in the foot on the hose, and until he addressed it, nothing else was going to work as well as it could. And he found a simple synergy. He started paying more attention to fighting inflammation from the inside, too. He told me, "Doctor, along with the oil, I just started making sure I had a handful of berries every morning. Berries for the antioxidants." It's a small tweak, but it aligned with our entire strategy. He was fighting that silent fire from both the outside in and the inside out. And for him, that comprehensive approach was what finally cleared the path. If this idea of clearing the blockages makes sense to you, this resonates, do me a favor and comment "clear path" down below. I really want to see who's understanding this crucial concept now that we've talked about putting out the silent fire of inflammation. Let's move on to the second major scientific reason this method works. This is about improving the actual mechanics of flow in the body. The second key benefit is enhanced local circulation. And notice I said circulation, plural, because we are talking about two distinct but equally important systems here. We are talking about your blood flow, and we are talking about your lymphatic system. Now, here is an incredibly common mistake, even among health professionals. When it comes to erectile function, men are told to focus entirely on one thing: getting blood in. We hear about nitric oxide, we hear about dilating blood vessels, and it's all about pushing more blood into the penile tissues. And of course, that is essential. But it's only half the equation. They completely forget that clearing out waste products, stagnant fluids, and cellular debris is just as important for healthy, responsive tissue. If the area is congested and sluggish, the tissues simply cannot function at their peak, no matter how much blood you try to force in. It's a critical oversight that holds countless men back. You must have good flow in and you must have good flow out. So, why does this castor oil application help with both? Let's start with the lymphatic system. This is a topic that is criminally underrated in men's health. I want you to think of your lymphatic system as your body's internal sanitation department. It's a vast network of vessels that runs alongside your blood vessels, and its job is to collect and remove metabolic waste, toxins, and excess fluid from your tissues. It cleans house at a cellular level. When the lymphatic system in the pelvic region becomes stagnant or congested, which is very common with a sedentary lifestyle or chronic inflammation, those waste products build up. The entire environment becomes boggy, sluggish, unhealthy. The gentle circular massage of the perineum, combined with the unique properties of castor oil, provides a powerful stimulus to this system. It manually encourages the movement of lymphatic fluid. It helps to unclog the drains, so to speak, reducing that congestion and creating a cleaner, healthier, and much more vibrant environment for all the delicate nerves and blood vessels to operate in. A less congested area is always a more responsive area. And then, of course, we have the direct impact on blood flow. That gentle massage, coupled with the anti-inflammatory effects of the ricinoleic acid, helps to relax the local blood vessels. It encourages them to dilate, to open up. And what is the incredible benefit of relaxed, open blood vessels? It means a significant potential increase in blood flow directly to the penile tissues. More blood flow means more oxygen. It means more nutrients. And critically, it means a better delivery of nitric oxide, which is the master key, the fundamental chemical signal that is absolutely required to achieve and maintain firm erections. And this isn't just wishful thinking. The science here is very well established. Topical massage is a cornerstone of physical therapy for a reason. Its ability to increase localized blood flow and stimulate lymphatic movement is documented in decades of circulation research and clinical practice. For instance, studies in the field of lymphedema treatment clearly show that specific types of manual stimulation can dramatically improve fluid dynamics in a targeted area. We are simply applying that same proven principle to this very specific, very important area for men's vitality. We are using a well-established mechanical technique to support a natural biological process. Let me give you another simple analogy to make this stick. Imagine your pelvic region is a high-end kitchen sink. The blood vessels bringing blood in, that's the shiny, powerful faucet. The lymphatic system, that's the drain underneath. Now, if that drain gets clogged with old food and gunk, what happens? The sink starts to fill up with dirty, stagnant water. It doesn't matter how powerful your faucet is, you can turn it on full blast, but the sink just becomes a messy, dysfunctional swamp. You can't get fresh, clean water in effectively until the old, dirty water is drained out. This process, this castor oil massage on the perineum, helps to unclog that drain. It clears out the stagnant lymphatic fluid and the waste products. And by doing that, it allows the faucet, your blood flow, to do its job properly, filling a clean, healthy basin. So, how do we apply this? The how is the same simple technique, but the intent is what matters. As you are performing that gentle circular motion for 30 to 60 seconds, I want you to visualize what you're doing. The circular motion is key. This isn't about applying heavy pressure. It's about gently stimulating the surface to encourage the fluid movement underneath. You are literally waking up the area's natural circulation and drainage systems. You are improving the fundamental hydraulics of your own body. This dual action approach is so powerful. It's about bringing the good stuff in, the oxygen-rich blood, and moving the bad stuff out, the metabolic waste. It's a concept that resonated deeply with another one of my patients, a 68-year-old gentleman named David. He was a truck driver for most of his life, which meant long hours of sitting. He told me, "Doctor, the idea of congestion just clicked for me. I felt congested. My whole body felt sluggish." When he started this routine, he combined it with a simple synergy tip. At the end of his shower each day, he would blast the pelvic area, front and back, with cold water for just 30 seconds. The cold water causes a rapid constriction of blood vessels, and when the cold is removed, they rebound and dilate, creating a pumping action. He said he felt it created a whoosh of circulation that made the oil massage feel even more effective. He was combining two simple techniques to get his circulation moving again. And for David, waking up that dormant flow was the key to feeling more energized and responsive than he had in over a decade. Okay, we've covered the what, the where, and the why. We've talked about the science of inflammation and circulation, but none of that matters. Absolutely none of it, if you don't get this next part right. So, for this next section, I need your full attention. We are now going to cover the how-to. This is the essential safety and application protocol. And let me be clear, following this protocol is non-negotiable for getting results safely and effectively without any unintended issues. This is the part where theory becomes practice, and doing it correctly is what separates success from failure. The single most dangerous mistake I see men make is this. They get excited about a natural solution, and in their haste, they cut corners. They will hear castor oil and immediately go to the nearest big box drugstore and grab the cheapest, most generic bottle they can find on the bottom shelf. Worse yet, they get home and, eager to start, they apply it directly to one of the most sensitive areas on their body without a second thought. This is a recipe for disaster. This is how you get skin irritation. This is how you have a bad experience and then incorrectly conclude that natural methods don't work. The truth is, the method didn't fail. The protocol was ignored. When you are dealing with your own body, especially a sensitive and important area like the perineum, purity and precaution are paramount. They are not optional extras. They are the foundation of the entire process. So why is this so critical? Why am I stressing this so much? It's because not all castor oil is created equal, not even close. Cheaper, mass-produced oils are often processed using industrial solvents, like hexane. Hexane is a chemical that helps extract the most oil from the castor bean, but trace amounts of it can remain in the final product. This is not something you want to be rubbing on your skin, period, especially not on permeable, sensitive skin. Furthermore, skipping a simple allergy test, what we call a patch test, is just needlessly reckless. While castor oil is generally very safe and well tolerated, any person can have a unique sensitivity to almost any substance on Earth. A simple test can prevent days or even weeks of uncomfortable irritation or a nasty rash. Your health and your safety must always come first. Always. And this isn't just my personal opinion. This is a bedrock principle of dermatological science. Best practices, which are endorsed and promoted by major organizations like the American Academy of Dermatology, always, and I mean always, recommend performing a patch test before applying any new substance to a large or sensitive area of skin. It is the gold standard of care for a reason. It's about being smart. It's about respecting your body. The analogy I use is a simple one. It's like checking for traffic before you pull out of your driveway onto a busy highway. Does it take an extra 2 seconds? Yes. But those 2 seconds of precaution are what prevent a major, costly, and painful accident. The patch test is your 2-second traffic check. It is a simple, brief pause that ensures the road ahead is clear and safe for you to proceed. Please, do not skip this step. So let's lay out the precise how-to instructions. I want you to treat this like a checklist. First, the oil itself. The quality, as we've discussed, is critical. The bottle you buy must say these 3 things on the label. 1. Organic. This ensures it was grown without pesticides. 2. Cold-pressed. This means it was processed without high heat, which preserves its beneficial compounds. And 3. Hexane-free. This guarantees it's free from that harsh chemical solvent. Organic, cold-pressed, hexane-free. Write that down. Second, the test. Before you do anything else, perform the patch test. Apply a single drop of the oil to a small spot on your inner forearm. Rub it in, and then wait. You must wait a full 24 hours. If, after that time, there is no redness, no itching, no irritation, then you are clear to proceed. Third, the rules of application. There are 2 firm rules here. Rule 1. This is for external use only. Never ingest castor oil unless specifically directed by your physician for other reasons, and never apply it inside any body cavity. Rule 2. Avoid direct contact with the most sensitive mucous membranes. That means you are targeting the skin of the perineum, not the head of the penis, not the urethra, and not the anus itself. The skin is the target. And fourth, the warning. This is a very important point for any man who is sexually active and uses protection. Castor oil, like many oils, can weaken and degrade latex condoms, potentially causing them to break. So you must plan accordingly. Either apply the oil well in advance and wash the area thoroughly before intimacy, or, to be completely safe, choose a non-latex condom, like those made from polyurethane. I had a client, Mark, a 62-year-old who was just starting to date again after a divorce. He was meticulous about following these steps. He told me, "Doctor, at first it felt like a hassle, but then I realized this little ritual, choosing the right oil, doing the test, it was a way of showing respect for my own body. It wasn't a shortcut. It was an investment." He treated it like a respectful health practice. And that's the synergy. The men who see the best, most consistent results are the ones who embrace the entire protocol. They understand that how you do something is just as important as what you do. Following these steps proves that you're serious about your well-being. It builds a foundation of safety and trust with your own body, which, in and of itself, is a powerful step toward reclaiming your vitality. Now, I bet some of you didn't know about that latex warning. If that piece of information was new and helpful for you, do me a favor and comment "good to know" down below. It helps me understand what information is most valuable for you. So let's bring everything together for a moment. We've learned today that applying a specific pure castor oil to that critical spot we discussed, the perineum, isn't just an old folk remedy. It is a science-backed method to support your intimate health by tackling silent inflammation right at the source and by helping to improve that all-important blood flow and lymphatic drainage. We've connected the dots between a simple action and a powerful biological response. But as I always say, knowledge without action is just entertainment. It doesn't create change. So I want to leave you with a very simple, clear prescription for the week ahead. This is your 3-step action plan to turn what you've learned into a real, tangible practice. First, I want you to source the right oil. Your task is to find a bottle that says these 3 things on the label: organic, cold-pressed, and hexane-free. Think of this as a small, one-time investment for your peace of mind and your long-term health. This is your foundation for safety and quality. Second, as soon as that oil arrives, I want you to perform the 24-hour patch test on your arm, just 1 drop. It is the most important 2 seconds you will spend. Please, do not skip this step. And third, once your test is clear, you can begin the simple 60-second nightly ritual we've discussed. That's it. That is your entire plan. Simple, manageable, and powerful. Now, I know exactly what some of you are thinking. I can almost hear the thoughts through the screen. Dr. Wells, this sounds almost too simple to really work. And my answer to that is always the same. The most profound, lasting solutions in health are almost always the simplest ones, applied with unwavering consistency. Real, lasting change in the body doesn't come from giant, heroic leaps. It comes from the small, quiet, daily steps that you repeat over time. And for those of you who say, "I'm just too tired at night," I understand. We all feel that way sometimes, but this entire ritual, from opening the bottle to finishing the massage, takes less time than it takes to properly brush your teeth. You deserve to invest that 1 minute in yourself. Because remember what this is truly about. This isn't just about improving physical performance. That's a wonderful benefit, but it's not the core of it. This is about reclaiming a part of your confidence, your vitality. It's about feeling that spark of energy and self-assurance again in all areas of your life. It's about the connection you share with your partner. It's about feeling whole again and in control of your own health journey. Don't let another week or another month go by wondering, what if? Your future self is counting on the small, smart choices you make today. So if you are ready to take that first step, if you're ready to take back control, I invite you to join our community of proactive men right now. First, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future science-backed guides. And more importantly, I want you to go down to the comments section right now and write 2 simple words. Day 1. This isn't for me. This is for you. This is your public commitment to yourself, a declaration that you are starting your journey and that you are no longer willing to let age define your quality of life. Let's support each other. Thank you for investing your valuable time with me today. In my very next video, we're going to discuss the one crucial nutrient that over 80% of men are deficient in, that can absolutely crush your energy levels and your drive. It's a piece of the puzzle you won't want to miss. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, reminding you that your health is your greatest asset. Take good care of it.